What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we have one of the best teams in the Western Conference that is led by one of the best young players in the NBA, that being the Memphis Grizzlies and Ja Morant. So this team won 56 games last year. They ended up being a 2 seed in the West, did lose in the second round of the eventual champion Golden State Warriors in 6 games, but this is a super talented roster, and it's also a relatively young roster. It's a young roster that has definitely had some experience in the playoffs, and I think this team is just a move or two away from being a championship contender. Before we do get into the video, I definitely do want to hear from you guys down below in the comment section. What are some other rebuilds you guys do want to see? Now, it is Friday when you guys are seeing this video, so you're probably not going to see a video over the weekend. I've been taking the weekends off just because I have long weeks anyways, and I hope that's okay with you guys. But yeah, for Monday and the rest of the next week, let me know what you do want to see down below in the comment section. Of course, I'm always open to your guys' ideas. Of course, if you guys have not yet subscribed to the channel, we would love to have you around here. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, stick around for a while, join the community. So, without further ado, man, I think this team shouldn't be too hard to get a championship. I'm hoping it's just a move or two, and we're right there in the mix. Let's hop into it. So as I mentioned, I firmly believe that this team is just a move or two away from very much being, I mean, they already are in the mix, but you know what I'm saying, kind of solidifying themselves as one of the best teams, one of the contenders. You know what I'm saying. All right, best player on the team by far, Mr. Ja Morant. Definitely somebody who I think is going to win at least one MVP award during his career. He's 23 years old. He's on a $200 million contract. Absolute star, absolute stud. He's not going anywhere, don't worry. We have Tyus Jones at the backup point guard spot. It's not a bad backup option whatsoever. He'll probably be here the whole video. Again, we will see, though, unless he has to go in some sort of bigger trade. We have Kennedy Chandler here, who was a second-round pick this past season from Tennessee. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know a ton about him. We have Desmond Bane here at the shooting guard spot, who actually emerged as a really nice piece, and kind of a piece that not a lot of people maybe thought was going to be as good as he ended up being. I mean, really kind of took that next step, second season in the league, and I'm very happy we have him here. We have Dillon Brooks at the small forward spot. I do not know if he'll necessarily last here as my starting small forward the entire video. Of course, we will see. We have John Concar here. Maybe it could be a decent bench piece for me. Zaire Williams is here. He's definitely somebody I do want to progress as much as possible, him being 21 years old. 74 overall. I think we can definitely get a decent amount of potential out of him. And Jake LaRavia, who I believe is one of their first-round draft picks this year. Yes, he was number 19 overall out of Wake Forest. We will see what we'll end up doing with him there. Jaron Jackson Jr., who I believe is currently injured in real life right now, which really does suck. Honestly, I'm going to have him here the whole video. He's a little bit of a lower overall than I would have kind of thought he would have been. I think maybe around an 85, 86 would have been a little bit more appropriate, but tremendous defensive player, really young player at 23 years old, and honestly on a pretty good contract for what the market is probably going to kind of demand once we kind of simulate. So, I mean, 4 years, $104 million, basically $26 million a year. I'll take that all day of the week. David Roddy here, another one of their first-round draft picks, I believe, Santi Aldama. I cannot pronounce this dude's name, and Killian Tilly here as well. The center spot, Steven Adams. I know there's a lot of people out there that love Steven Adams. I will try to keep him as long as humanly possible. I just don't know if he's going to be a long-term option here in Memphis. We have Brandon Clark, and then we have Xavier Tillman, so 2 really good backup center options. And we will see what we end up doing with this this squad. We might make a trade or two just to maybe solidify a new backup shooting guard. But other than that, I think we're in a good spot right now. Let's maybe make a trade or two. This is going to be one of those rare occasions where I actually don't go ahead and make any trades before the start of year one. I thought I definitely had at least one in store, and we didn't end up making any. You'll see what I ended up doing to kind of make this team work a little bit better, in my opinion. We have Ja Morant here at the starting point guard spot, Desmond Bane. There's really no surprises here in the starting lineup or even the entirety of the rotation. We have Dillon Brooks, Jaron Jackson Jr., and Steven Adams. So no shockers there. The bench unit, we have Tyus Jones coming off the bench. We have Brandon Clark and Xavier Tillman. As you saw earlier, they were both listed as centers. I actually went ahead and I moved Brandon Clark down to the power forward spot. Same overall. Doesn't really change too much for me there. It's just so David Roddy really doesn't have to get minutes this year just because he's young and I think this team's competitive, so I'm going to send him down to the G League. We do have Xavier Tillman here backing up Steven Adams. We have Zaire Williams. We have John Concar, who actually moved over to the shooting guard spot. I believe he has an A3 or A-rated 3, so you know what? He just signed an extension. There's really no reason to trade him right now. So let's go ahead and I'll show you guys real quick the 2 guys I sent down to the G League, one being Jake LaRavia and one being David Roddy. So it is weird to send 2 first-round draft picks down to the G League. I get that. But in this situation, we basically had the rest of the roster kind of figured out, and there's really no reason for me to make any trades. So we're going to go with it. We're going to see how this team can kind of do without any moves. I think this is still an immensely talented team and a team that can hopefully be in that mix of contenders coming out of the West. So that is it for now. I'll see you guys at the end of year one. Hopefully we're top seed. We wrap up year number 1 going 54-28. So it's a really good record for year 1. We obviously didn't make any trades, and we are right in the mix here I'm assuming at the top of the Western Conference. It's a 37.5-point triple-double for Mr. Luka Doncic. Congratulations. Jabari Smith Jr., number 3 overall draft pick, Rookie of the Year. Simmons, I mean, these awards really don't change too much. All right, let's get into the playoffs here. We end up as a 2 seed here in the West, which is obviously what this team was last year. And we are hoping to maybe make it a little bit further this year. Hawks are obviously very good over there in the East. Take a look at the stats on the year. Ja Morant, holy shit, almost 28.7 boards, 10 assists, man average a double-double. I am so happy I have him on this team. Desmond Bain continues to be really good. 19 points, 5 boards, 2.5 assists. Was shooting around 48% from the field. How was his three-point percentage? Around 43.5%. Beautiful. Not going anywhere. We have Dylan Brooks. We have Jaron Jackson Jr., Tyus Jones, Clark, Tillman, Adams. I'll give Adams credit. Grabbed 11 boards. Zaire Williams, John Concar, Aldama. Interesting team. Rebounds with Steven Adams and assists with Ja Morant. So, we're going to send the play, and oh, fuck. We have Golden State here in round 1. Dude, I didn't even address this yet, like just in any videos. And this happened a few days ago. Not addressed. It's not like a huge thing for me. But like, Draymond and Jordan Poole going at it at practice? God damn. What happened? I have no idea. But like, I don't think there's going to be any suspensions that come from it. But it's just crazy to see, like, what are they fighting about? I mean, I know something was about, like, maybe Poole's extension or something. I don't know. Crazy to think. But this team's obviously very, very good. It's a very deep team, and, I know that painfully from my time as a Celtics fan. No, I'm kidding. I'm always going to be a C's fan. But, like, this Warriors team's very good. I have no idea why they're in the play-in. They're probably going to be a top 3 seed in real life. We somehow win in 5. Thank you. Moving on to the New Orleans Pelicans here. CJ, Brandon Ingram, Herbert Jones, Zion, Valanciunas, Jackson Hayes, Jose Alvarado. Really not any changes there for the New Orleans Pelicans. So I'd like to beat them. I think we're the better team. And, yeah, we're battling a little bit. Go into Game 7, and they blow a 3-1 lead. I'll say it once. I'll say it again. Every time I do a rebuild, no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's the first year, the second year, third year, whatever it is. I always run into a situation where somebody blows a 3-1 lead. It's every single video, and it happens at least once. I don't know why it's become such a common thing in 2K. They're acting like it happens every year in the NBA. It's ridiculous to me. Let's take a look at the Los Angeles Lakers. Russell Westbrook, Pat Beverly, LeBron James, Thomas Bryant, Anthony Davis. The Lakers are the Lakers. I don't really think that there's any argument that we're a better team right now. They definitely have the best player, but we are way just deeper and way better of a team in my opinion. We do end up winning in 6. Ja Morant wins Western Conference Finals MVP, and Zach LaVine Eastern Conference Finals MVP. This game has been a big fan of the Chicago Bulls. They might be one of 2K's new teams, if you will. Let's take a look at their lineup. It's Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Patty Williams, Nikola Vucevic. They got Drummond, Caruso, Io, Javonte Green. It's a good team. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's not. Do I think we're better? Probably, but 2K loves the Bulls, and you obviously see that. It's very evident right here. Did Zach LaVine average the same amount of points in the NBA Finals as he did in the Eastern Conference Finals? Good job, 2K. All right, so we make it to the finals. In year 1, we lose. I wasn't really expecting to beat that Bulls team, as weird as that does sound, just because 2K is just so high up on them, and I'll definitely be doing a Bulls rebuild soon, strictly based off the fact that I know how much 2K loves them. All right, let's sit here in the draft lottery. We definitely don't have any picks here in the draft lottery. The Detroit Pistons luck into Victor Wembanyama. Oh, my God, that dude is generational. It's ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen, I don't even know if there were not this much talk, but you have NBA players, you have the commissioner of the NBA, you have every single media source ever talking about Victor Wembanyama right now. And I get it. I remember myself how big the hype was around Zion, but were there really that many players in hell, the commissioner of the league talking about him? It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I've just never seen anything like it before. Greg Popovich is here. That would have been an interesting signing. No, thank you, though. I am looking for, where the hell is he? Taylor Jenkins. Thank you very much. Taylor, please come back to me, and you do. All right, let's head up to the draft right now. I'm not sure if we have our first-round draft pick. If we do, it's obviously a later pick, and we do. It's at number 26. We also have 20 and 26 in round 2. I'd love to see you guys in the draft maybe with a smallish trade. The number 12 overall pick is currently owned by the Indiana Pacers. We are going to go ahead and offer them every single draft pick, first and second round picks we do have this year, along with Kennedy Chandler, and see if they may be willing to give me that number 12 overall pick. And yes, I'm throwing Kennedy Chandler in there strictly based off the fact that I don't see myself moving Tyus Jones and needing a different backup point guard. So they don't want to do that. How about if instead I throw you a couple more seconds and actually Only takes one more second. So we move up to the number 12 overall spot. It's definitely going to give me some more options there. I wasn't trying to get a top 2 or 3 pick and get Victor or Scoot or something like that. It just really wasn't what I was going to try to do. So the Pistons do take Victor, number 1. Wizards take Scoot. It might be the first draft in a long time that I haven't seen a team screw it up. Like, I've seen Cameron Whitmore go number 1. I've seen Anthony Black. I'm not saying they're not going to be great players, but, I mean, this is generational prospect stuff we're talking about here. So let's go ahead and see who's on the board for me here at number 12. I don't know if it's going to be anybody that's really going to make or break this rebuild. But you know what? We definitely have some options here. I think Dylan Mitchell is definitely a potential option. We have Dariq Whitehead here as well out of Duke. A lot of you guys have always told me to do this, and I have done this a few times. I'm actually going to pull up a mock draft right now and see if I can maybe find somebody that I would enjoy drafting who's like one of the higher rated prospects. Let's see what we can find. From the 2 mock drafts I just looked at, it appears that Dariq Whitehead is listed as the highest rated prospect available that is still here. We're going to go ahead and take him. I also think small forward is a definite position of need for us. Welcome to the team, Dariq Whitehead. He's a 76 overall. So he could eventually be a replacement, maybe for Dylan Brooks at the small forward spot. I'm definitely not just going to make that decision right now. We're going to definitely bring back Desmond Bane and the rest of these guys. But, you know, I never thought Dylan Brooks was a long-term option here. We are going to give Brandon Clark that qualifying offer. It's only $5 million. Excuse me. We will now head free agency, where I don't believe we have anybody huge. We do have Dylan Brooks here. I'm not just going to let him go, but I also really don't want to think of him as a long-term option. I'm not a huge Dylan Brooks fan, to be honest with you. I think we can probably maybe combine him in a trade with Steven Adams and maybe get an upgrade at the center spot and then maybe just let Dariq Whitehead give it a go at the starting small forward spot. So I think that's the route I'm kind of thinking of right now. Oh, shit. Steven Adams is a free agent. Okay, well, I definitely want to get him back. I'm not renouncing the rights on Adams or Clark. Is Steven Adams here? Is it just not letting me offer him a contract for some reason? I know 2K is a little screwy with that sometimes. So Steven Adams, and it is going to let me pay him. So he wants around $16.5 million a year. It's honestly fine by me. We're not renouncing Brandon Clark. Thank you very much, 2K. Gotta love this game. So I honestly might combine those two in a trade, and I might go ahead and try to get Jesus Christ. I might try to get an upgrade at the starting center spot. You know, I never thought of Steven Adams as a long-term option, and I never really thought of Dylan Brooks as a long-term option. Let's find a trade. I'm actually going to try to do this trade without including Dylan Brooks. I think the original trade, I know the original trade had Dylan Brooks in here. It also had Onyeka Okongwu. That was the exact deal. But I want to see if I can do this without maybe including him. I think I can probably get some better value. Okay, that's all it takes. And Clint Capella is officially on this team. He's younger. In my opinion, he's probably a better player. And he's my new starting center. So Clint Capella, welcome to the team. We still have Dylan Brooks here. So honestly, he wasn't playing bad. I just never thought of him as a long-term option for whatever reason. He doesn't progress very well. So I'll probably give him one more year here at the starting small forward spot. But I also do want to go ahead and get Dariq Whitehead significant minutes. So unless I maybe find a trade for him, but I can't even think of maybe another position, especially in the starting 5 that I would really need. So it might mean Zaire Williams is kind of on his way out right now. I'll probably keep Jake LaRavia, maybe eventually get him some backup minutes. It sucks. I was kind of happy and kind of wanted to roll with the punches here, having Zaire Williams as my backup small forward, but it really just didn't pan out, I guess. So what I might do is kind of combine Concar and Williams and maybe go ahead, see if we can find maybe a little bit of an upgrade at the backup shooting guard spot. Well, let's see what we can find. So I was very much considering doing this trade right here with the Cavs, acquiring Isaac Okoro, who's obviously only 22 years old, super young, and pretty good basketball player. But then I saw this one here with the New York Knicks. Now, I am a big Emmanuel Quickley fan. I don't necessarily think he has the height to play the shooting guard spot, but I don't really think it's going to turn into that big of an issue. We also acquire a Knicks unprotected draft pick next year, which I'm not sitting here and saying they're going to be a bottom-of-the-barrel team here in the league. They're not probably going to be the best team, and it's an unprotected pick. So I'm going to pull the trigger on this deal. We're going to get Emmanuel Quickley. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move him here to the shooting guard spot. He goes down in overall. That's honestly kind of fine by me. So other than that, that's probably going to be one of the final maybe huge trades we kind of make. I don't really see myself making any other big trades. We kind of see the way this team's built right now. There's really no reason to make any other trades. I might trade Santi Aldama just strictly based off the fact that we have a lot of power forward depth. And maybe I can get a pick for him. I can't imagine it's going to be anything too valuable. So actually, first round pick for the Bulls, I will take it. See you guys at the start of year 2. We definitely made some changes to this team in this past offseason. I think this team definitely got better, and I'm super excited to kind of see what happens here in year 2. We made the finals last year, lost to a Bulls team that 2K is a pretty big fan of. Not that I necessarily think they're better than us, but let's see what happens here. It's John Morant, Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, Jaron Jackson Jr., and Clint Capella. So only one change in this starting 5. That being the addition of Clint Capella, who in my opinion is a better player than Steven Adams. And I'm excited to have him here. Immanuel quickly takes over as the sixth man off the bench. I was honestly surprised the Knicks were just so willing to kind of give him up. I get it. Zaire Williams is a good prospect. You have John Concar, good shooter, but I don't know. I'm pretty big on Immanuel quickly. Followed by that is going to be Dariq Whitehead. He was a guy that I thought I was going to be giving starting minutes to when I potentially included Dillon Brooks in that trade. He ended up not going to New York, but we ended up keeping Dariq Whitehead as well. And he's going to be getting seventh man minutes off the bench. Followed by Tyus Jones, Xavier Tillman, and Brandon Clark. This is a very good team. This is a very deep team and a team that hopefully is right back in the mix. Hopefully winning a championship. Year 2, I'll see you guys at the end of it. For the first time ever, I was paying attention to our record while we were simulating. This team did go 64-18. Obviously, it's going to be good enough for a 1 seed. And I want a championship, and I want it bad. Luka Doncic, same old. Victor Wembanyama does win Rookie of the Year. He was obviously the number 1 overall draft pick by the Detroit Pistons, and very impressive. Malcolm Brogdon, 6th Man of the Year in Boston. Chet Holmgren, Depoy, Tyler Hero, Most Improved. Taylor Jenkins, Coach of the Year, as we do go 64-18, as I mentioned. Very much deserving. Let's take a look at the standings. We were 11 games up in the New Orleans Pelicans, Nuggets, Mavericks. You feel free to take a look and pause if you do wish to do. That's not what I do wish to do. Wish to do? I don't know. John Morant led us in scoring. Desmond Bane, Jaron Jackson Jr., Dillon Brooks, Whitehead. So, yeah, it's not too crazy of a difference here, but the minutes are definitely different. So I think I'll definitely try to get Dariq Whitehead maybe into that starting 5 next year. I think it's probably the best case scenario for everybody. So let's go ahead, sim the play. And we got the Los Angeles Lakers, who we played in the Western Conference Finals last year. And it looks like LeBron has retired. They added Colin Sexton and Gordon Hayward. Kyle Anderson. They still have Anthony Davis, Bruce Brown. So they're a little bit of a revamped Lakers roster, if you will. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a very good team. And thanks for coming. We are sweeping them. Moving on to the Dallas Mavericks. 37.5-point triple-double. Luka Doncic. They had a Chris Middleton. That's a really good second piece here for Luka. It's kind of maybe that second piece that he's been lacking for the majority of his career. And let's see what happens here. We are going to... Wow, we're actually... Whoa, hold up a minute. What is going... I don't even want to know what Luka averaged. I don't. I will see our numbers right here and see where we kind of sucked. I want to take a look at round 2. All right, Ja was good. Maybe a little bit less than the points. Bane was solid. Jay was good. Dillon Brooks kind of sucked. It's the Luka effect, and it's so aggravating. Tatum, Eastern, Luka, Western, 2 of the best young players in the league. I mean, it's just aggravating for the fact that I know we're just such a better team than those Dallas Mavericks, and it's just this game just dick riding Luka into oblivion. So I guess that's the frustrating part for me. I guess, one positive thing, we still have another year. Let's sim the draft lottery. It's going to be the Pelicans. That's exactly what they needed, followed by the Jazz, the New York Knicks, the Thunder, and the Spurs. We have that Knicks pick. It is at number 20, so the Knicks were not that bad. Taylor Jenkins is just one Coach of the Year. He's a very good head coach, in my opinion. He's not going anywhere. We do have the 20th overall draft pick. I'm not sure. Do we have our own pick as well? We do. We also have the 29th overall pick. And then number 25 in round 2. I have no idea what I want to do with this draft pick, but might make a trade or two. I'd be more than willing to do this to acquire DeAndre Ayton, get him on this team. He'd be an absolute stud at that center spot. So I didn't think that was going to go through. I'd be willing to give you my 2 first-round draft picks this year. I don't even think that's going to help too much. I'm trying to give the keys to the kingdom at the small forward spot to Dariq Whitehead. I think that's probably going to be the best route to kind of take right now. And I'm pretty much willing to give up any single draft pick. So welcome to the team, DeAndre Ayton. He's an upgrade, in my opinion, at that starting center spot. And I'm excited to have him here. So we are not going to be drafting anybody. I think we still have a second-round pick. I don't know who they draft. Kyle Boswell. He's actually a 73 overall. I'll actually take him. Team player options, David Roddy, Jake LaRavia are going to be coming back. I might figure out something to do with them. I don't necessarily think they're both going to be in this rotation, so maybe I can kind of get them in a trade. Free agency is a huge thing for me right now. Desmond Bane's definitely not going anywhere. I'll just give him his qualifying. Xavier Tillman, somebody I'll bring back for now. I definitely do want to pay Tyus Jones as well, and then I can wait here, and quickly he's restricted, and that's pretty much the only other thing I'm worried about here. So let's go ahead and give Immanuel Quickley a contract right now. Actually, that's probably going to be his qualifying offer. I'll actually wait on Immanuel Quickley. I don't necessarily plan on trading him, but just in case, do not renounce. Jesus fucking Christ. Just in case, I do want to pay him an actual contract. So Immanuel Quickley, welcome back to here in Memphis. And let's take a look at this roster right now and see if we potentially have a move or two that we think we can make to maybe upgrade this team. I'm thinking maybe upgrade at the backup small forward spots. Not that I don't think Jake LaRavia can hack it. He's just barely goddamn played for me, and I'm trying to win a championship. So I'm very comfortable with Xavier Tillman. I think Brandon Clark's fine backing up Triple J, so maybe I include David Roddy in a trade along with LaRavia, and let's see what we can come up with. The Kings are offering me Jakob Poeltl and a first-round draft pick for David Roddy, Jake LaRavia, and another first. Reason I'm actually doing this trade is because he is making a lot more money than even the both of them combined. So Jakob Poeltl and 2 first-round draft picks, going to hopefully get me some sort of small forward. Again, it does not need to... perfect. TJ Warren, welcome to the team. All right, that is going to be our final trade heading into the third and final season. We've basically traded all our draft picks, all the players that we didn't think are going to be in this rotation. We got a huge upgrade at that starting center spot, and I'm excited to see this team work. I'll see you guys at the start of year 3 here in Memphis. So this team won 64 games last year. We ended up losing in the second round of the Dallas Mavericks, and that's not the way I want to go out. Now, this is an extremely talented team, but I don't really care if we're not winning championships. So I need it here in the final season. We made some upgrades. We got a little bit deeper. Here's how the team's looking. It's John Morant, Desmond Bane, Dariq Whitehead, Jaron Jackson Jr., and DeAndre Ayton. The bench unit, it's going to be TJ Warren, Emmanuel Quickley, Tyus Jones, Xavier Tillman, and Brandon Clark. Really deep team, really good team. Hopefully it translates to a championship. I'll see you guys at the end of year 3. We have just been running an absolute goddamn train on the rest of the NBA. We are 70-12, and if that doesn't translate to a championship, I don't really know what else I could possibly do. We finally have a new MVP here as Mr. Darius Garland takes home his first career one. Xavier Booker, Rookie of the Year. He probably went number 1 overall to the Pelicans, and he did. Really fun time, and I'm probably going to have to face them. Nashawn Highland, 6th Man of the Year. Bam Adebayo, Depoy. Dyson Daniels, Most Improved. Taylor Jenkins, 2nd straight Coach of the Year. I mean, running a legitimate fucking train. I am hoping that translates into a championship. How are the Utah Jazz winners of 56 games? What in the name of Jesus Christ is going on in Utah? All right, let's take a look at the numbers, see how we did it. John Morant, Desmond Bane, Dariq Whitehead really took that next step now that he is in the starting lineup. It's awesome to see. Triple J, DeAndre Ayton, Emmanuel Quickley, Warren, Jones, Tillman, Clark. I mean, this team is just so immensely talented that if we don't win a championship, I'll be so disappointed. We have Portland, Dame Dalla, Amari Bailey, Shaden Sharp, Chuma Okeke, Mitchell Robinson. You got Nurk, Jeremy Grant. Really deep bench right there. We're 100% the better team. I should not be losing games here to this squad. We end up sweeping them. Moving on to Denver. Really good team. Definitely do have the best player in the series. I'll give you that, Nikola Jokic. But other than that, we have the way better team. And we lose game 1. And we lose game 2. And what is going on today, bro? I honestly have no idea. And we come back from being down 3-0. It's one of those things I'm talking about, dude. Every single time I do a rebuild, I always see something that happens once every 5 or 6 years. Like, it's 2K. Houston Rockets. They always sign Kyrie Irving, Jalen Green, Cameron Whitmore, Jabari Smith, Christian Wood is back in Houston, Alperen Şengün, Garuba. Another good team. I'm not going to sit here and say they're not good. They're just not nearly as good as we are. We're 2-2 with them right now. We're down... This game's testing me recently. It really has been. I don't really know what else to say. That was another blown 3-0 lead. Besides the fact that, like, this game just has it out for me recently. I don't really know. This team's insane, and it was really good, and it was a fun rebuild. This game's tested me recently. All right, well, I'm excited to have a weekend off from it. Hopefully you guys still enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. That would be awesome to support me in my pain. If you guys have any other video ideas, let me know. I'll definitely do some historic rebuilds next week. The reason I've been doing so many current rebuilds recently is because I'm trying to do as many of those as possible before the NBA season actually tips off. Because, things change at that point in time. I'm not saying it's going to be any major trades a week into the season, but you get what I'm saying. We also don't have Start Today. They took out one of the best features that they had here in my NBA, and love this company. All right, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I do love you guys. Hope you guys all have a great weekend. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.